Welcome back, everyone who tuned into Week 1. I have some unpleasant news. This week's update is boring. You'll find out why after we find out who
made a mess of it.
This week's honor of the biggest mess made goes to Tim Tebow Time of the Turbush League, mostly because messes were few and far between. Everyone seemed to pick very conservatively and got exactly what they wanted out of their picks, except Timmy. His potential top score was only 28, so it's not like he missed out on a lot of points. But the same reason Cade was called out last week, he was the only person out of all 16 of us who picked his two worst teams. I don't think that happens too many times last year. Usually there are plenty of us who pick the two best or two worst. Not this week though. Only Tim Tebow time. This week's Moneyball segment is going to be tough for me, since y'all picked like babies. Only one person started a 4th round draft pick between both leagues, and that person is Tyler Palco's pick of Dallas Cowboys. They rewarded him with 30 points, which was more than a lot of other teams. I'm not doing the math. And now to the current standings for the Kirsch League, where basically nothing changed. Palco had a nice week and remains at the top. Wade Wilson's 80 points tops week's 2 scoring in both leagues as he smartly didn't stick with the Bungles again. Johnny Effie Moxon followed up his 2nd place week with a last place week 2, currently treading water at 3rd, with Chad Hutchinson right beneath him with a 70-point week of his own. Chad's 2 picks were excellent, picking his top 2 teams while the others both recorded goose eggs. A little further back remains Kellen Moore, who found both the best scoring team and the worst scoring team this week. Yes, that's why they're different colors. Unless you're colorblind, then you must think I'm crazy. Gabe McNown turned last week's mess into a small positive by passing Mr. Football and sliding into 6th. That still won't let you play the next race in Mario Kart though. Johnny managed to pick his 2 best teams yet again. He's picking flawlessly on this season. That's what makes his ranking so sad right now. His 4 teams have been doing awful as far as BQBL goes. Finally, we have Cleo the Caboose Lemon, who ranked 6th in his points this week, also picking his 2 best teams, but is still trucking in 8th. Stay tuned next week as I reveal who I'm going to call out as our Relegation Watch 2017 candidate for the year. As Spurgeon TSS Win can attest, you don't want to be on the receiving end of being nominated.
Last and absolutely least, we have the Junior Turbush Leaguers. Actually, things were a ton more interesting here than the Kirsch League. Krenzel remains in the top, hoisted up on Tolzien's shoulders, but catching up fast is Jar Jar Marcus Russell, who's stuck with his first 2 draft picks for a 2nd straight week, and it worked out. Unlike Wade Wilson, Spurgeon TSS Win, whatever his fucking name is picking the Bengals at the wrong time. Whedon has thus far avoided bad picks, but missed out on Chicago this week. Top score goes to Mr. Leaf, who not only picked his best 2, but avoided 2 teams who scored double digits in the negative. Pat yourself on the back. I'd give you a slow clap, but I'm in my car recording this, and people might think I'm weirder than I already look. Plus, it's freaking hot outside today. The bottom 3 of you have played some uninspired BQBL football thus far, and I think you need to step it up.